Hey, welcome back everybody to Up in the Clouds Vape. Glad you can join me again. Today what we're going to do is we're actually going to review a tank that's been out on the market for a little bit now. It is the Eleaf Lemo 2. Stick around, don't go away. Alright guys, welcome back. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually review a tank that's been out for a little bit. It's the Lemo 2 by Eleaf. So it has its own RBA section. You don't get any pre-wound coils with this. It is a rebuildable section. And that's the way it comes. There's been a few reviews on this that I've seen online on YouTube, and the most common problem that I've heard with this is the dry hits. Now, I found a way where I don't get the dry hits anymore, but it's got to be done very specific, and when we go down up close and personal to review it, show you how to wick it so you don't get those dry hits. Also the other thing to avoid getting dry hits is your coils. How big your coils are, your inner diameter of your coils, your ohms as well. You know, if you have too big of a coil size, you have a lot of wick in there, it's not going to feed as well, especially with a high max VG. If you have a 50-50 or a 60-40 e-juice in there, it may wick a little bit faster. So I just keep my diameter small. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down, we're going to take a look at this. Okay, so here we have the Lemo 2. This is the box it comes in, and as always, Eleaf has a nice packaging. So when we open this up, get that off to the side, pull it out, and we see our atomizer there. Put that in. Here's our tank. We'll put that aside for a second. We open that up, and inside we have our instruction guide. You get a bunch of goodies in here. You get extra washers and seals and a tool for your rebuilding, stuff like that. So nothing major. Okay. And in this bag was some coils that are no longer in there. So we have a tank, you know, there was juice in it. Of course, I emptied it and washed it out. So let's break it down. So we have our parts. I've broken it down as best as I can, and here is why. Because when I originally put this tank together, I kind of did it wrong. So this was actually separate. I would screw that down on here first, and then I would throw this on, but then I over tightened it and I couldn't get it off. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see this, there are some scratches in there because I had to use something to take it off. So not cool. Okay. So just to tell you a little bit about it, it is 22 millimeters in diameter, about 76.2 millimeters for length. It holds about 3.8 mils of juice. Now that isn't a lot. So people who like to chain vape, they may have to fill this up 2 or 3 times in the day. The resistance 0.3 ohms and up. Now if you buy this now, you will get temperature control nickel 200 wire added in the kit, so that does come available in the kit. So what does it all come with? Well, it comes with one mouthpiece, top cap, glass tube, atomizer cover, which is just this part. Okay. Then your stainless steel tube, a couple coils, then you have your coil stand, which is this part right here, okay, and then you have your atomizer base, which is right here. All this is stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about anything rusting on you. So within the coil stand, so there's the coil stand there. I didn't pull the coil off. I just did leave it on, I left it on there. So I'm not going to show you how to coil it. So we do have the stand there, and we do have a peak insulator. It's some kind of special polymer material, which is good for high heat and corrosion resistance. So that is that little white thing you see here, right about there. It does have an adjustable airflow right here. Two ways you can coil this. Either you can go and use these top screws here and here and fit the wire under here and tighten them down. However, they squish out, so I don't like that. Or you can put them in these holes, okay, which is kind of funky looking, and it does take some practice to get that correct. So a little cotton bacon to coil this up. Just have a little bit about this much. I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to just feather this out, get this going. Pull it up. So you don't need a lot. The more you put in, the harder it's actually going to wick. Okay? So now we got that going. We're going to wick this sucker. Let's cut that bit off. There. Okay. There we go. Nice and tight. Okay. So the trick to wicking this is making sure that when we cut it, it is just above this base right here. Take it and we are going to cut it and see how close that is. But it is still a little close. So I'm going to cut a little bit more. Like that. Nice and simple. So what I've done is I've cut that. So when you push it down, it's just above the base. Just above the base there. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to juice this completely before we do anything else. Okay? So what I have here today, what am I going to juice with? This is Candy Clowns. I'll show you the little bottle on here because it's actually really cool. There we go, little candy clown. Okay, it's a local juice company and it is called Vaperight Distribution Canada. If anybody's had Blue Sky Bitch or Dr. Fogg's BC Fog, this beats them both. Yeah, this stuff is good. It's just a new juice company coming out, and they should be in mass production fairly shortly. I don't have a link for anything for them, but once I do, I will post it up on one of my social medias like Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or another YouTube video. Okay? Might do a review on this once I get all the information. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually try and stick it to the walls. I'm going to go ahead and stick it kind of like that. Okay, let's do the other side. Go ahead and push it down and stick it like that. Okay, you need to, I might just adjust this a little bit. There we go. Okay, just like that. Okay, so to fill this, we have to actually close this airflow. Okay, close that, and then I'm going to open up the top, fill. Okay, and let's fill this sucker. Okay, so, but with the dripper bottles, it's a little bit harder. Okay, so I'm going to close that off. Okay, since we close that off, we're going to open up the airflow just like that, and it shouldn't leak. Okay, so let's go back up, talk about it, vape on it, and see what it's like. Welcome back up top. So we're just going to talk about some pros and cons of the tank. Now, some pros. Because it is a rebuildable deck, it is good for the, you know, the person who wants to get into building for the first time, where a RDA atomizer is maybe a little, they might be a little bit too timid to build on something like that. Now, as you saw down below how we have to install a coil, yeah, you know, it takes some practice and it takes some finicking around, which I'm not a big fan of, but once you get used to it, I can do it pretty quick. The other advantage, you know, the stainless steel, non-corrosive, all that really matters when it comes to a tank. It's got a nice 510 tip on it, top fill, which is amazing. If you do it right, it doesn't leak and it's easy to do. A little bit hard with a dripper, but a normal bottle, the nozzle should easily go inside there and fill this up pretty good. So its disadvantages: if you don't do the fill procedure correctly, it will leak the mils of juice. It only holds a very minimal amount of juice, and that's one of the things I don't like about it. The other thing is how hard it is also to build on it when it comes to the wicking portion, because it is very common to get dry hits. Now, there's been a lot of reviewers who have reviewed this and just can't get it to work. I don't know. I really don't, and I know Matt from Suck My Mod and a couple other reviewers don't like it. Hey, it's all subjective, right? So I don't mind the tank. You know, would I recommend it for somebody? Probably not. But what we're going to do is we're just going to take a couple hits, see how long I can hit on this before I get a dry hit. Okay, ready? So we'll stop there. I think I've proven my point. Haven't gotten a dry hit yet. The other con is the airflow. It's restrictive. It's not a mouth to lung restrictive, but it is restrictive. It's more than the Kanger tank. Okay, so those are my thoughts. If you have any experiences with the Lemo 2, leave some comments, give me your opinion, insults, whatever you want. And I hope to see you again soon on one of my reviews. I am going to do a few more reviews here in the next month. Happy New Year, everyone, by the way. Leave a comment down below, subscribe, like, don't do anything I would do, and be safe.